What's going on, guys? How are you doing out there? It's your best friend in the entire world, Shane D, back with a hot, fresh first listen. Deftones. Remember the Deftones? Are they part of the nu metal school of rock and roll music from the 90s? Deftones, they just put out a new single, and I guess they'd been hinting at it for a while, and it's called Ohms. And so we're going to do that today. I was a huge fan of Deftones for about the first 4 records, and I still like Diamond Eyes and stuff like that, but I kind of fell off from them after, was it White Pony? Let's take a look here, because we can easily do that. I want to say White Pony was the last album that I was fully on board for. Self-titled Deftones would be that. So we're going to learn about the Deftones, and we're going to listen to the song Ohms. Does that sound like a good idea to you? I think it sounds like a good idea to me, so let's do that. The Deftones have 2.6 million monthly listeners to the Spotify account. That's 2,647,320 monthly listeners to the Spotify. Their top 5 songs. Can you guess what it is? A summertime banger, My Own Summer, Shove It. And that has, hold on to your hat when you hear this, 67 million plays. Change, I Watched You Change, great song. That has 94 million plays. Another one of my favorite songs was Digital Bath. I love those drums. Number 3 track here is Ohms. That's already, it's only a week old or something like that. It's already got 1.3 million plays. Be Quiet and Drive. Why don't you drive away? Passenger. Yeah, so number 4 is Be Quiet and Drive, and number 5 is Passenger. And I believe Passenger was the song that had Maynard James Keenan from Tool on that, and that's got 37 million plays. These guys are the big boys. I always said if there's a big 4 of thrash, there's a big 4 of nu metal. And me and my buddy were talking about this the other day. I'm saying Korn, Deftones, Slipknot, and I don't know who else. So you can finish off that top 4. But that would be my top 4 of the nu metal thing. Let's look into albums and see what the Deftones have done there. And they're talking about a new album coming here soon. But yes, the first album, Adrenaline. I saw the Deftones before this album was even out. I was in Arizona. They were actually playing in between a bunch of metal local bands. And I was absolutely blown away. And they had said, yeah, we just got signed to Madonna's record label, Maverick. And they had little cassettes that had 2 singles. It had Bored, and it had 7 words. The singles had Bored and 7 words. And they were handing them out, and they just had a sticker on the cassette that said Deftones. That's 1995, Adrenaline. And then you got Around the Fur, 1997. Then you got 2000, White Pony. Self-titled album, Deftones, 2003. B-Sides and Rarities. Saturday Night Risks. Diamond Eyes. I did like some of the songs on that I heard. That's 2010. Covers. I'm assuming that's a cover album. Koi no Yokan. It's always a weird album title name for me. That's 2012. And then Gore in 2016. So the Deftones they're ready to put out a new album. Let's look into related artists, who they hanging with, who they kicking with, who they played with, who people listen to when they listen to the Deftones. Chino Moreno from San Bernardino, he's up here. Team Sleep, that's another Chino Moreno band. Crosses, that's another Chino Moreno band. A Perfect Circle, that's got Maynard in it. Mudvayne, Static X, Pussifier, Tool, Filter, that's an odd one. Cold Chamber, remember we talked about them. You loco. That's an inside joke that I'm not going to talk about. Seven Dust and Soulfly, so that is the related artists for them. Let's look into the bio and see what they've got here in the bio sitch. And it always gives me problems. But you got the 5 guys. It looks like they're walking around in Norway or something. It's snowy. They've got their wind jackets on, their snow jackets. It looks very cold. And maybe they're going to the singer for Gorgoroth's house to look at his artwork or something. Deftones were one of the first groups to alternate heavy riffs and scream vocals with more ethereal music and hushed singing, spawning a fair amount of imitators in their wake. The group first formed in Sacramento, California in 1988, when the high school student Stephen Carpenter, guitar, Abe Cunningham, drums, Chino Moreno vocals first began to jam together. They chose the name Deftones and began playing out locally shortly after, going through several different bass players before finding the wonderful, the fantastic, and the passed on and living in heaven now, Chi Cheng. I saw the Deftones twice with Chi Cheng. No, 3 times with Chi Cheng, and he was a fantastic bass player, and R.I.P. to him. Bio goes on, but we do not. We're going into the song right now. So without further ado, I grab my nipple, I show it to you, I give you a little taste of it, then we listen to the song Ohms from the Deftones. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. Here we go. Would you call him shoegazy? I love the drummer. His drum style is just... Chino Moreno's always had a voice you either like, you love, or you hate. There's those ethereal openings, expansive. Drums always sound good on the Deftones songs. That snare drum is like... fairly groovy jam. I mean, that all of the Deftones, they write pretty good music. This is just fine. It's a... Give Abe something. Give him a taste. That's not a bad jam. You got Harry coming in. Is he going to fade him out? Keep on rocking, guys. What did you think of that? Be quiet and drive. Turn it off. Yeah, that was I would say that was kind of a middle of the road kind of a Deftones track. It was good. I think the Deftones do everything really good and really well. You know, the worst song on the worst album from Deftones is still, in my opinion, a good song, a solid song. Not as explosive as a Diamond Eyes or a Shove It or a, you know, something like that for the first single to come out, but not bad. Ohms, it wasn't too bad in my opinion. But, you know, the most important part of this video is what you think of it. Good, great, fantastic. Shane, everything the Deftones does is perfectly good and well and great. And I love it. And I love Chino Moreno from San Bernardino. And they've got me in their hearts forever, or not good, not great, don't want it, don't need it. Shane, I was never a fan of the Deftones, really. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of his voice, and that was a middle-of-the-road kind of a rock and roll track. All that can be put in the comments below. Have you ever seen Deftones live? What's your favorite album? What's your favorite song? I've seen the Deftones, I want to say 5 or 6 times. And if you pay attention to any of the other videos that I've done on this channel, I tell a story about the time that I caught Chino Moreno and ended up with a piece of his t-shirt. That's besides the point. Get in the comments below and tell me what you thought of Ohms from the Deftones. Can you do that? I love you so damn much. Like, comment, subscribe, be my friend. If you have a hard rock or a heavy metal special request, you say, Shane, I'd like you to shout me out in the video. There's a link in the description below. Donate a few dollars to the channel. Let me know your request. We'll get it done in your honor with thumbsy-upsies to you, okay? That's all I got. Deftones.